or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Stop touching that snooze button and get ready to clock in with the best morning show on the planet.
It's okay when we're singing, we're dancing, we're playing on the field, making everybody else laugh, making everybody else millions of dollars. But as soon as we have a voice, we're punished for it.
Giving you an informative dialogue with a side of fun and laughter while cutting through the noise and bringing you the real stories behind the headlines.
Look, it takes 5 minutes. Notice I'm not getting into details about what goes on in Switzerland, but those that know, you know what I'm talking about.
Get a little. And then
do it again. Do it again.
A little.
That's it.
You know what it is, Truth Nation. It's time to wake up with Milwaukee's favorite morning show.
My point is, if you're 40 or if you're still trying to push for something, it doesn't mean that it's over just because it's been delayed. Delayed doesn't mean denied.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, this is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming on YouTube.
You gotta love black folks. We gonna make a way out. What you mean, man? All you gotta do is get
I got to put a little oil in it.
Go get the Robitussin so we can get this car fixed.
Here are your hosts, the effective communication coach, Denise Thomas, and two-time Emmy Award winner, Telly Hughes.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday, November the 25th. Why do I always with the November word? November.
Yeah, you got one more
November.
You got one more burr next month. You gonna make it through 24?
Oh, you know that's my favorite burr.
Oh, okay.
December. Now see, Telly, I've been trying to leave you alone, but you gonna make me bust out with it.
Oh no. You right. You've been leaving me alone. I appreciate that
Okay, you
too.
almost got me started. Good morning, Telly.
Good morning, DT. Good Monday morning.
Good Monday morning. Good morning, DJ Ricky on the ones and twos.
Ms. DT, what it do? Good morning, Telly.
Good morning.
Well, it is definitely going to be a good morning. And if there's nothing else that you want to celebrate, how about this for good news? Today is really like Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
It's today it's Wednesday, y'all.
Yeah, you can't say that most Mondays, DT. That's a good point. You halfway home, y'all.
Halfway there.
Yeah. Because most places, like, they'll let you, your last day will be Wednesday, right? Or is it Tuesday? Well,
some will allow their teammate what they call now Thanksgiving Eve. So for some folks, today is Friday Eve.
Yeah.
And tomorrow is the last day before they celebrate Thanksgiving. Now, I know I will be in Milwaukee on Wednesday. So I'll be in the studio, and then DT and DT Jr., he would kill me if he heard me say that. Let me go ahead and say it because I know he's DT Jr., i.e. my son, or a.k.a. my son. And Ernie will be hitting the road. We'll be leaving Milwaukee after the show and heading to Evansville, Indiana.
Heading to Eville. I'll be heading
Oh, my bad. I forgot Telly. We got to stop at the Cheese Castle, but that's neither here nor there. I got that off my chest on Friday. But yes, go ahead.
That's funny.
Damn Cheese Castle.
Yeah, me and my family will be heading to East St. Louis, and we will be having Thanksgiving at one of my mom's two surviving sisters' We're going to have it at her house. So my mom had, her oldest sister is still alive at 95.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and she looks great.
That's amazing.
Yes, and looks great, can still get around and everything. And her youngest sister is where we're having Thanksgiving dinner at. So that should be fun. That should be cool.
Yes.
And then I'll be heading to Indiana myself on Saturday. Bloomington.
What part?
Bloomington.
Let's go, Big Red, Big Red. Let's go.
Yes, I'll be heading to Bloomington for
To
the
see
big
the
rivalry
Indiana
game.
Hoosiers.
Yes, Purdue versus Indiana.
Who are they playing?
Purdue.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
So-
like the Bloods and the Crips.
Yeah, it's going to be it.
That's
yeah.
like Kendrick and Drake.
It really is. If you know, right?
What? Look, you know I know.
Right. But DT,
I ain't been the same since Bobby Knight. R.I.P. Bobby Knight.
I had a moment this weekend. So this weekend I was in Minneapolis and for the Penn State Minnesota game, and that was my normal thing. But yesterday I came back. I got back yesterday morning, and my daughter had senior pictures.
Nice.
And let me tell you, I think some dust almost got in my eyes a couple times because it is just so hard to believe that I have a senior in high school.
Did you say dust in your eyes?
Yeah, I think I had a little dust in my eye. The wind was blowing a lot yesterday.
Oh, of course. Of course it was dust in your eye.
But no,
said,
it was
bruh.
cool though. it was really cool though. But yeah, I mean, I know it's been a minute for you, but when your kids take those senior pictures, does it kind of sit in like, man, they ain't your kids no more. They pretty much grown. I mean, they always gonna be your
kids. There's an array of
but-
emotions.
Yeah.
There's an array of emotions that I experienced. The first emotion after the second one left was excitement. It was pride. And then when they actually, so when you and your wife have the empty nest, I'm telling you right now, at first you're going to be like, we got the whole house to ourselves. And then it's going to hit you. Now, for your wife, and I wish somebody would have told me, it's going to be very emotional for her. Because, it's just that thing with the moms, when the babies leave the nest, it's just very emotional. So you're going to have to be ready for a lot of tears.
Oh, man.
Some moods. Yeah, because I cried every day after Darren left and I was officially an empty nester. And that's actually kind of what motivated me to start my business, my company, is I was like, now what do I do? What do I do now?
Yeah.
Because you put so much into your children, especially those last 2 years before they go to college. It's just that's everything you focus on.
Yeah.
Preparing them for their exams and preparing them for their college entry exams and all this stuff. And then they're gone and you're just like, you and your wife gonna be looking at each other like, okay, now what?
It's so funny how
we gotta
life
spend time with
works.
each other.
Hey, it's funny how life works because for the longest during their teenage years, I can't wait you get out of here, get into it, this, that, and the other. And then when it's time to leave, I want you to go.
Yep. That's exactly how it's going to be. So I would say be prepared for at least 6 months of just,
Ooh, man.
yeah. A lot of emotional support that you both will need, but your wife, that's just part of being a mom. It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
And I wish somebody would have told me that.
Thank you for the heads up because I'm focused on how I'm going to feel, but I probably need to be focused more on how she is going to feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of being a girl dad, Telly, if y'all have not already, so maybe this is something you can consider when you and the family go to East St. Louis. Ladies and gentlemen, especially if you are a girl dad or a girl mom, if you don't do anything between now and the end of the Thanksgiving holiday, take your daughter, your niece, your goddaughter, your little cousin, your little sister to go see Wicked. I went to go see it Friday. Incredible.
Really?
Oh, what? Life-changing. So I have been a fan of Wicked in terms of the live performance aspect. I've seen it twice. I've been fortunate to see it in Chicago, in, I guess, for lack of better words, the Broadway district or the theater district of Chicago. Also in New York. The movie, and you know, Telly, I'm not a fan of, musicals that turn into movies. I didn't like how they did my movie Color Purple. Wicked? Y'all, I literally wanted to stand up and just, it was, it reminded me of when I saw Jennifer Hudson in Dreamgirls. I literally just wanted to stand up.
Wow.
And Cynthia Erivo, who plays, what is it? Elphaba, sorry. Elphaba, who is, the Wicked Witch. If she don't get somebody's Oscar, go see Wicked. And the underlying message, it's so relevant. Telly, when I'm telling you, when you go take your daughters to go see that movie, they're going to be introduced or reintroduced, and they're going to have a lot of light bulbs and a lot of aha moments. And it's so inspiring. And again, shout out to Cynthia Erivo. If you do not know her, she is a young black actress. She's based out of her, she's a Brit. She's a British person. Her voice, her acting, if she don't get some type of recognition for her performance, Ariana Grande, amazing. She did amazing. Everybody in that movie, Telly Hughes. Ricky, you got what? Daughters and nieces, right, Ricky?
One stepdaughter and plenty nieces, yes.
Take them to go see Wicked.
Hey, on our
I'm telling y'all.
on our YouTube message board, I think this is Lamnick. Lamnick agrees. Says we are going to see Wicked on Thanksgiving Day. I didn't get a chance to see the play, so I'm super excited.
Lamnick, when I tell you, okay, I'll put it to you like this, Lamnick, because I know you're an intelligent person. You wouldn't be if you weren't listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Lamnick, I am going to go see it again when I go to visit my parents. So I'm taking my mom and my daughter. My daughter's 29. Taking my mom and my daughter to go see Wicked.
Nice.
Actually, I'm going to invite my aunt, too, my dad's sister.
Yeah.
That is how excellent this movie is. Because you know me, Telly, going to the movies, that's like, wait a minute, just to get in the door is $15.
Yeah.
We ain't even got to popcorn yet. Because I have a whole menu. So here's my menu when I go to the movies, Telly. It's a non-negotiable. Big old bucket of popcorn, no salt, lots of butter. My Sour Patch Kids, my M&Ms with nuts, and my nachos with cheese, and my big Diet Coke. Now, I may not eat it all.
I was about to say.
Look at Telly's face. Y'all go to YouTube. Look at Telly's face. Go to YouTube. He was like, wait a minute, you're not done. What you thinking, Telly? What you think about my movie?
What I'm thinking is there's no such thing as dinner and a movie because
Telly was like, and that's why men don't take you to the movies.
I was like, did we have dinner before this? Or
Oh, that's even if we go to dinner, I'm still ordering that.
You still
'Cause I like
gonna
to have
order
my options. So yeah. But it's funny now that I just saw your reaction, because I think the person who took my order, they gave me the same look too. Because I was like, okay, let me get some popcorn, no salt, extra butter. Let me get a Diet Coke. Oh, let me get the Sour Patch Kids too. And they're like, okay, and will that complete your? No. Let me get them M&Ms with the nuts. But if you don't have those, I'll take the Kit Kat, the family size, the big one. Look, anything else? Yep, it's some water. Let me get that diet water.
to wash all of that down. Oh, Chauncey agrees with you, DT, on our talking text line. Chauncey says, saw it. Breathtaking. Worth every penny.
Telly, I am telling you. Thank you, Chauncey. And you know, Chauncey, he's one of our, how do I say this? He's not easily influenced. Chauncey gonna tell you, for Chauncey to say
true.
worth every penny, that, I'm telling you, that movie.
Yeah. If it was garbage, Chauncey would say it was garbage. So, yeah,
exactly.
You're right.
He'd be like, oh, DT, I don't know what Wicked you saw, but see, Chauncey finally agrees with me. I'm telling you.
So let me ask you this. I know how you feel about movies and stuff like that, and you saw the movie. Play or the movie?
Telly, that is probably the best question to ask. That's why I know you an Emmy Award, because I'm telling you, nobody has asked. I almost gave it away. There's a surprise in the movie. Chauncey, you already know. If you're familiar with the Broadway musical version of Wicked, when I tell you there's a great surprise in the movie, you already know. But Kiana on our True Talking text line said you forgot your nachos. Thank you, Kiana. And don't forget my nachos. Anywho. Thank you, Kiana. Telly, I don't know, for real. It's a tie.
Okay. Wow. Now that's saying something, because I'm gonna give you an example. Long time ago, when my girls were, much younger, we went to New York and I took them to see Aladdin on Broadway, and I was probably more intrigued than everybody. I was like, this is great. Now, I know for a fact, would I go to the movies to see Aladdin? Probably not. But the play was off the chain. So I know the difference between, live theater, stage plays versus movies. Movies can take away or it can enhance sometimes. So that's why I asked,
Now I know we got to take a break, but here's what I will say, Telly, so that I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna go to break. So Ricky, get ready, because I don't want to get slaughtered when I say this, especially for our theater junkies that are listening. I'm only gonna say that the movie version of Wicked was a tie, because I don't want to take away from what it takes to perform live in front of an audience on stage.
Yeah.
But this is where Ricky hit the button when I say this, because I know I'm about to get on the YouTube message board. If I really had to pick, the movie was better. All right, you're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth, Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. We'll be back.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Al Keith, CEO of Milwaukee College Prep. This Giving Tuesday helps shape the future of Milwaukee's youth. At MCP, we believe every child deserves access to a high-quality education, one that unlocks their potential, empowers their dreams, and creates leaders for tomorrow. Your donation supports the tools, resources, and opportunities that make this success possible. Join us in creating brighter futures for Milwaukee's youth by donating today. Visit mkeprep.com/Giving Tuesday to donate.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Look, it's Friday Eve, y'all. Let's go ahead and just keep it 100, because we're not working on Wednesday. A lot of us going to be driving or traveling somewhere, flying, taking a boat, maybe even swimming. But Wednesday, if you're an employer and you got your folks working on Wednesday, I would expect the bare minimum.
I was going to say, don't expect maximum effort here.
Not at all. Like bare minimum. Like clocking in, sitting there, and complaining the whole time that you got to be at work while you got to be at work. That's what you're going to get from your team members.
Right. Hey, DT, I want to shout out Jeff at 72 on our YouTube message board. He says, good morning, DT and Telly. I want to thank Telly for speaking to me yesterday at the car wash. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I was, cleaning out my daughter's car because guess what? She's not going to do that. And now I know his name. Jeff rolled up and was like, hey, I listen to you and DT every morning. And that was pretty cool. He was like, I ain't want to bother you. I was like, no, you're not bothering me. Now, if you just ran up and started, you want to give me your demo tape or something, then yeah. Because I can't do nothing with that.
Hold on. Wait a minute, y'all. Why Telly just tell how old he is? Telly, they don't give out demo tapes.
They don't give out demo tapes.
CDs.
No,
but I like.
They don't even do that no more. They get demo links. Like, hey, here's my link. You be like,
Telly said demo tape, y'all. I'm weak. Like it was 1992. Look, you're right. Look at Jeff. He laughing. Demo tape. They don't even give out CDs. They don't even. And the way you said it with such conviction. As long as you don't come with me with no demo tape. Well, Telly, I guarantee you, no one, even if they wanted to, will present you with a demo tape. What you gonna play it on?
That is so true.
Telly?
That is so true. You know what? I can't even find where I can play a DVD.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now that you say something, I came.
So we're gonna take the word.
Go ahead.
Look, Truth Nation. Okay, so Telly, we're gonna take the word tape.
You go take.
We're gonna put it in a box.
Okay.
And we're gonna throw that box in Lake Michigan. Okay.
I say that because that's the type of language I do use on weekends when teams watch the game tape. They still call it game tape or game film. So, but yeah, you're right. When it comes to a demo tape, yeah, I may need to throw that in Lake Michigan.
you and my dad can throw away. So along with the tape word, my dad will say things like, well, I was talking to my boy Roland, and we was on the phone for like an hour, man. That was long distance. Dad, stop right there. Dad, there's no. I was like, Dad, when's the last time you received a phone bill that had itemized listings of phone calls that you made? When's the last time, Dad? It's gone. Okay, long distance. I need you to take that and put that in the word. Put that in the box with Telly's tape word. Okay, because there's no long distance anymore. Thank you so much.
Right.
Let's proceed.
Where can you play a DVD?
I mean, you could probably go on like Amazon or eBay. Is anybody selling a DVD player? Telly wants to go to our Dr. Text line.
I mean, because you can't even do it on your laptop anymore. They don't even have it where you can put a disc in anymore.
Listen, now I will say this. In my car, I have a CD changer in my car. And my car is a 2019. Okay. So I don't know what year most auto manufacturers cut off the installing the CD player.
Yeah.
But my car is a 2019, and you could throw some CDs in there.
All right.
As long as your car has Bluetooth, I think you're okay. Like if you still drive a car that doesn't have Bluetooth, you won't be able to take any teenager or somebody with the number 2 in their age.
Where's your Bluetooth? Where's your aux cord?
What? You ain't got no Bluetooth up in here? What is this?
I hate this car.
This car's stupid.
Why your car ain't smart?
Look, that's exactly how they talk too. This car's stupid. God, this car, I hate this car. How do you have a car with no Bluetooth?
Now, do you know the type of shock value it would be for a kid to get in a car that they had to literally roll the window down like we had back in the day? They'll be like, no way. No way. You guys did what?
The way that these ungrateful bread snatchers talk to us if we don't have the most recent technology. And like I was saying to both of my kids, because, Darren, he's 26. Dominique is 29. They act like I'm 80 years old, Telly, when I'm like, okay, can y'all just help me set this thing up on my laptop? Mom.
It's not
all
that
you
hard.
gotta do, just click on that and then go here and then I'm like, stop, wait a minute. Why are you rushing? Hold up. They make me feel so stupid.
Don't you love the all you got to do? It's like, well, if that's all I had to do, I would have. I think I would have figured it out.
It's the big sigh for me. What do you mean you don't like, Mom? Like you said, all you got to do. I'm like, you know what? Get out of my face. I'll just go to YouTube.
Like, you know what? I'm good.
Because you wasn't saying that when you needed somebody to pay for that cell phone you got in your hand, but that's neither here nor there, right?
Correct.
See, Mom, you do that all the time. You got to just throw it in her face, and we just ask you.
Ask you one.
Anywho, we got a great show for y'all. We're going to be talking about a number of hot topics, and yes, we are bringing to you another episode of MPS in the Restless here in Milwaukee. Some critical decisions have been made by MPS. We want to give you those updates. And also, how did the Milwaukee public school system do on the state report card? How'd they do? And we're going to talk about that. But really quick, I want to just bring this to your attention, Telly, Ricky, and Truth Nation. We've been talking a lot about the post-general election outcome. President-elect Donald J. Trump will be inaugurated as the 47th president on January 20th. So literally in about 2 months, the world will witness the 47th president being inaugurated in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Now, what is interesting is that in 2025, Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday is also on January 20th. So you're going to have President-elect Donald Trump put his right hand in the air, put his left hand on the Bible, commit to the country, to the world, to the free world, that he will protect and serve and honor the Constitution, et cetera, while we are also as a country celebrating Dr. King's legacy. How do you feel about that, Telly?
Man, for a person that don't believe in coincidences that often, man, what a coincidence. I'm looking forward to see how this country will celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King's day that day. Will there be very little mention? I know he won't mention it, he meaning Trump, who will become the 47th president, but I'm real curious because it's Washington, it's where the March on Washington took place, and basically that's going to be the backdrop, the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Memorial. Is it the Washington Memorial, Lincoln Memorial? One of them. But anyway,
Lincoln.
Yeah,
because that was a whole controversy because it was apparent, like when they first built the monument for King, some folks got uncomfortable because it appeared as though King was looking directly right at Abraham Lincoln, because the monument, he has his arms crossed.
Yes, he does.
And so the controversy was, he was staring at President Abraham Lincoln, who, the country and the world feels as though Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery from the Emancipation Proclamation.
I didn't know that was a deal. Yeah, wow.
Oh man, it almost got delayed. It was such a big deal. There were so many people that even some of the King family members complained. They were saying that it was too controversial. It didn't look good for the country to have, one of the most notable, if not the most notable civil rights advocate leader in America with his arms crossed to be looking at the president who has often been attributed to abolishing slavery. Oh yeah, it almost didn't even happen. That's how big of a deal it was.
Wow.
Financial reasons and cosmetic purposes. That monument almost did not make it.
But what's so crazy though, the only thing they did was probably just turn it the other way.
This is America. When we come back, Telly, I want to get your reaction because Bernice King, the youngest daughter of Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King, says that she is fine. She's okay with the presidential inauguration of Donald J. Trump taking place on the same day of her late father's national holiday. So when we come back from break, we're going to tell you why Bernice King, daughter of MLK Jr., has no issues. And as a matter of fact, she's glad. Stay locked in. We'll give you more about that, along with other hot topics, including MPS and the restless updates on the best morning show on planet Earth, Truth Be Told with DT and Telly.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Registration is now open for Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Microsoft Certification Course. Classes start Monday, November 11th, 2024 through Friday, January 10th, 2025. Join them Mondays and Wednesdays from 9:30 to 11:30 with practice times available on Fridays from 9:30 to 11:30. Earn your Microsoft certificate in PowerPoint, Word, and Excel, all with an in-person instructor. Work at your own pace and add new skills to your resume. For more information, visit tmul.org. Hurry, space is limited.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
Breaking news, Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office is investigating the death of 43-year-old Devontae L. Mitchell outside of the Hyatt Regency on Sunday as a homicide. Breaking news. A Milwaukee mother is speaking out after her 17-year-old daughter, Amira Wallace, was shot and killed at Milwaukee's Deneen Park. This happened just after midnight on July 22nd. Breaking news. According to a sheriff's office report, Sean Grayson said he shot Sonia Massey after fearing she would throw boiling water at him, which would have caused great bodily harm or death. Breaking news. Body cam video shows fatal police shooting of 4-year-old Illinois boy and man holding him hostage. Police responding to a domestic violence call shot a 4-year-old named Terrell Marshawn Miller and his mother's boyfriend. Now that I have your attention, these are families that are more than just a news story. These are families who are hurting. These are families that are searching for justice. As a community, it's our duty to get involved and make sure we do our part to make sure that these families receive the justice that they're searching for. Today, it's their families in the news. Tomorrow is yours. This is why it's important for us to make sure that we stay on the front lines and make sure that we do our part to help change what's going on in our neighborhood. Whether it's police brutality, whether it's senseless violence, whether it's human trafficking, we all can do our part and help each and every family that's affected negatively in our communities get justice.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
We are looking at a pretty good ride shaping up. Eastbound 94 is just starting to get a bit heavier, though, from 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Westbound's tightening up right past the Stadium interchange. But overall, everything else is looking pretty good. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, cloudy with a chance of light showers, a high of 50. Tonight, clearing skies, cold and breezy. It'll be a low of 25. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Thank you to Associated Bank for being a founding partner of the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Together, we are committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. Be sure to tune into Jammin' with Juice at noon on Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday as they interview Black entrepreneurs and encourage you to buy local on Small Business Saturday. Whatever your financial needs are, Associated Bank can help. Member FDIC, buy Black on Small Business Saturday.
And Truth Nation, everyone's favorite holiday tradition, Black Nativity by Langston Hughes, returns for its 9th annual musical production celebrating the power of the Black family. It runs for one weekend only from December the 5th through the 8th at the Marcus Center's Wilson Theater. So tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth this Wednesday, as we will be giving away a pair of tickets to see the Black Nativity on every show. Yes, every show, including Truth Be Told with DT and Telly, will be giving away a pair of tickets to see Black Nativity on Wednesday. So to purchase tickets to see Black Nativity, visit blackartsmke.org. That's going to be an exciting play. And speaking of celebrations, I mean, I can't remember when I haven't celebrated Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, which is a national holiday. It's a federal holiday, which will take place on the same day of the 47th presidential inauguration. Now, Bernice King, who is the youngest daughter of Martin Luther King Jr., recently shared with a publication known as The Independent why she's, and I'm quoting Telly, glad that President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration is scheduled to take place on the same day. This was her quote: "I'm glad that if it was going to happen, it happened on the King holiday, because King is still speaking to us. And again, this came from Bernice King during an interview with the digital publication known as The Independent on Saturday. Now, Bernice King also urged Americans not to retreat or recoil following Trump's election win over Kamala Harris. She goes on to say, and I quote, "We have to commit ourselves to continuing the mission of protecting freedom, justice, and democracy in the spirit of my father," again, who is Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., and that's end of the quote. Now, King has gone after Trump and his supporters on a number of occasions in recent months, and she knocked the president-elect for his absolutely not true claim that he drew a larger crowd at his rally on January 6, 2021 than her father did for his I Have a Dream speech at the National Mall in 1963. Did you know that, Telly?
I heard
that Trump claimed that more people, yeah.
And what's even more comical is the fact that he called January 6th a rally. You know what? Maybe we should have a rally on January 20th.
It's going to be an interesting day, because now let me ask you this, and I want to ask the question to Truth Nation as well. Our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. Do you have any issues or angst or just discomfort, like what, with the presidential inauguration of Donald Trump taking place on the same day as the national federal Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday? We'll start with you, Telly.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have a problem with it, because we shouldn't expect Donald Trump to do anything more than what any other president would have done or expected more. Meaning, when President Biden got inaugurated, if it was on Martin Luther King's holiday, would we expect him to do something different? Probably not. I mean, we just assume that, President Biden is, very respectful of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and would have done something. But I don't think it's up to us to expect him to do anything differently than what he would normally do. I do feel like it's very ironic that it is on the same day.
Yes.
I think it's very ironic. How ironic it is, or it's going to be, I mean, I guess, of course, like everybody else, we're going to have to wait and see. But I don't necessarily have a problem with it, because, again, I don't know what we expect him to do or what we would expect other president-elects to do.
Well, on our Truth Talking text line, Alfonso says, "Isn't hate forbidden in the Bible, though even Trump pushes hate?" Alfonso also says, Abraham Lincoln's famous words is, "If you don't own slaves, you are nobody." Now, I'm not familiar with these quotes.
Yeah.
And here, I will just say this, because I don't want to go down a rabbit hole regarding the Bible, but I will say this: the Bible is made up of the Old Testament and the New Testament. So when it comes to certain subject matters, a lot of folks want to go to the Old Testament and they forget about the New Testament. But hate, it is in, what's my guy? One of the disciples, the famous kiss, the Judas kiss. It's too early, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All I'm going to say this is, hate is in the Bible. Homosexuality is in the Bible. Now, in terms of how people interpret that, but a lot of the subject matters that people will say, there's the Old Testament and there's the New Testament. And it may not be promoting something, but there's definitely a variety of scriptures that focus on decision making based on envy, jealousy, and hatred towards even their own brother. So yeah, hate's in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's that generational curse. Black people, we got to quit. Like, remember back in the day? Well, the Bible says that you ain't supposed to put dirt in your mouth. Where? How? What scripture? Like, we've been doing that as a community. We'll take certain scriptures and then we'll kind of like make it our own.
Oh,
Wait a
yeah.
minute.
Or only do half of it, or just give you half of the scripture and be like, yeah. And then it's like, wait a minute, what's the other part? And be like, well, we ain't focusing on that. We just gonna focus on the part that we want, that sounds good to us.
Part of our culture, generational curse, again. Going back to the subject matter at hand.
Yeah.
Here's how I feel about it. Why? Because I do think it takes. Here's the reality. Is this the first time a presidential inauguration has taken place on the same day as the King holiday? My immediate reaction is going to be no. However, we all know the realities that are associated with the outcome of this election. There are many people who feel that this country is more divided than it was during the civil rights movements, during the Jim Crow era. There are a number of Americans who feel that way, and they've been very vocal about it. Why couldn't we have the presidential inauguration on the 13th? You got a whole week before the 13th, and then we can fully recognize, because what's so ironic is that you're going to have a number of people who voted for Trump based on their beliefs that if a woman of color would have became president, it would further disposition white men and white men's power. Remember, we played that audio clip. Where the older white man said, I simply voted for Trump for one reason, and that was because I was starting to see people of color, or his terms, minorities, growing in numbers, and I didn't want our power to be dispositioned. So I find it interesting that you're going to have a number of people that will attend President-elect Trump's, well, you can call him that too, inauguration on a same day where an advocate of equality and integration and love for one another, loving your fellow brother no matter what color, creed, religious affiliation, that to me is where it gets a little problematic.
Yeah.
You're going to have people who literally get paid, who will get a paid holiday and will go to D.C. to cheer on Donald Trump and have no respect, desire, or interest in building a brotherhood or sisterhood with somebody who doesn't look or think like them. That's where it gets problematic for me.
Great point. That's definitely a different lens to look through, and I mean valid points and valid reasons to to back how you feel. I looked up, DT, has there ever been an inauguration on the King holiday? And President Ronald Reagan's inauguration at the U.S. Capitol in 1981 was the first time the ceremony was broadcast live on the internet, and the first inaugural that fell on the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. So 1981. So it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's a great fact to understand. So why is it that we got to have, what happened to the 13th? That's a whole day. When we come back, we want to hear from you, Truth Nation. How are you feeling about President-elect Donald J. Trump's inauguration being held or scheduled to be held on the same day as the King holiday? 833-212-1017. Are you okay with it? Does it even matter? Is it a big deal? Or no, that's not a good look for me or this country. Let us know how you feel. We'll be back.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to basketball Twitter sensation Worldwide Wob. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
What are some of the things that we need to really focus on to get our fair share of these opportunities, i.e. access to capital?
You know, it's very important to always think about building a strong business plan, understanding the financial parameters around what you're trying to accomplish, building great networks and great relationships so you can have partnerships and building out your dream. And then finding a good financial partner like Old National to help really orchestrate your vision of the organization. And then, as you know, DT, you wouldn't be where you're at because you're phenomenal, doing great work. And then you have to really have to go to work. If you have that dream, you have that vision, the business plan, the financial piece, then you have to really work at it and keep building.
Learn more about the Old National Bank Small Business Empowerment Loan by visiting oldnational.com/small business or contact a small business banker at Old National Bank.
Looking for a fun family activity to get into the holiday spirit? Visit or volunteer for Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive in Grafton on Saturday, December 7th. The event is free and we will have lots of fun activities. Capco is dedicated to bring communities together and has collected over 300,000 toys through Kids to Kids. Join us and WTMJ for a celebration of giving and bring a new unwrapped toy to help children in need this holiday season. Support Kids to Kids. Visit kidstoKidsToyDrive.com.
Hey Milwaukee! Everyone's favorite holiday tradition, Black Nativity by Langston Hughes, returns for its 9th annual musical production celebrating the power of the Black family. It runs for 1 weekend only, from December 5th through the 8th at Marcus Center's Wilson Theater. So grab your family and your friends and join us downtown for a holiday classic like you've never seen before. Get your Black Nativity tickets today at blackartsmke.org. That's blackartsmke.org. See you there.
I'm Al Keith, CEO of Milwaukee College Prep. This Giving Tuesday helps shape the future of Milwaukee's youth. At MCP, we believe every child deserves access to a high-quality education, one that unlocks their potential, empowers their dreams, and creates leaders for tomorrow. Your donation supports the tools, resources, and opportunities that make this success possible. Join us in creating brighter futures for Milwaukee's youth by donating today. Visit mkeprep.com/Giving Tuesday to donate.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation is College Month on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and we want to help your young scholar get those free scholarship dollars. All month long, we will be highlighting local universities who offer full tuition scholarships and local organizations who help students find thousands of dollars in scholarships each year. So be sure to tune into The Truth all month long so you do not miss this important information on how your student can go to college and be debt-free. College Scholarship Month on The Truth is sponsored by Concordia University, Wisconsin, Live Uncommon, and Educators Credit Union, achieving more together.
And Truth Nation, it is Monday, November the 25th. Can you believe that? It's already the 25th of November. We're in the midst of getting ready for Turkey Day. Now, before break, we were talking about Bernice King, who is the youngest daughter of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., recently sat down with a digital publication known as The Independent, where she revealed that she's glad that the upcoming Trump inauguration lands on her dad's holiday, which again is Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. She says, quote, "I'm glad that if it was going to happen, it happened on the King holiday because Dr. King is still speaking to us." She then goes on to say that she knocked the president-elect Donald Trump for his absolutely not true claim that he drew a larger crowd at his rally on January 6, 2021 than her father did for his I Have a Dream speech on the National Mall in 1963. Now, on our YouTube message boards, we got a lot of reactions coming in. You can stream and watch Telly and I live right now on our YouTube channel. Just simply go to youtube.com, open up your YouTube app, subscribe, search and subscribe to 101.7 The Truth. And you'll see Telly and I right now on our YouTube message board. Jasmine says, interesting, it's January 20th. Could we do it on the 19th instead? I'm with you, Jasmine, on that one.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, Telly, I'm good with it being on. Well, no, I'm not good with it being on the 20th. I'm trying to understand whoever is scheduling the inauguration. Why couldn't it have been on the 13th?
Yeah. Yeah. You never know what the logistics are, and you got to know that Trump is going to ask for a lot of special things that probably other president-elects, including himself, the first time, didn't ask for, and he has a fetish for other world leaders, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see our military and walking the streets like they do, and for other leaders or dictators in other countries. But with Bernice, I mean, but DT, you want to talk about a lob, a great alley-oop if you are Donald Trump? Isn't that a perfect time if you were about unity and you were about being together? I mean, being inaugurated on that day, the most famous person to advocate for civil rights to ever have lived. Let's be real. And so it would be a great opportunity, but I mean, we all know he's not interested in that. I'm interested in that. But during the break, we were doing some talking and doing some research, and President Barack Obama's second term, it fell on Martin Luther King's holiday, and he used the Reverend's Bible to take his oath into office and to honor Dr. King during his second term. So, that's a very powerful thing. Like, of course, we don't think that Trump would do something like that. But, I mean, it is a great day, and it's a day every year that we are reminded of, how far we've come, but also how far we still got to go.
I agree. And I will be curious to see if Donald Trump recognizes Dr. King in his inauguration remarks as he addresses the country. Even just as I stand here before each of you as Americans, and behind me is anything, just even if it's 2 seconds, but I don't know. We'll see. If I were a gambling person, I'm going to bet that Trump does not recognize Dr. King in his inauguration address to the country. Not really a city girl says, I agree, Telly. Alfonso, I think that's Al. We're going to read his comments from the YouTube message board. We come back from this break. We're going to also, when we come back from break, get into the MPS and the Restless most recent episode. So stay locked in. We get ready to share your thoughts, your feelings, your perspectives. 833-212-1017 is our Truth Talk and text line. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. It's Monday, y'all. Let's get it. We'll be back.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Thank you to Associated Bank for being a founding partner of the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Together, we are committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. So make sure you tune into Jammin' with Juice on Thanksgiving Day and Black Friday as we speak with Black-owned businesses about their journeys through entrepreneurship and encourage you to support local small businesses on Saturday, November 30th for Small Business Saturday. Whatever your financial needs are, Associated Bank can help. Member FDIC.
Truth Nation, let us take a second to brag for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like President Joe Biden.
Black child poverty was cut in half in 2021. We built black wealth, 15 million jobs nationwide, more than 2.5 million for Black Americans. Black wealth is up 60% since the pandemic.
Former President Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump.
Guys, we almost had a former president and very likely future president assassinated on live TV. Like, you know what that would have done for this country? You know what that would have made our country look like? We would look like a banana republic.
And Brewers All-Star and former National League MVP Christian Yelich.
Listen, you already know.
Yeah, we got we were just in LA, so we heard our fair share of Kendrick out there in LA. Dodger Stadium has one of the best sound systems in baseball too.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app, listening live on 1017thetruth.com, and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Good morning, Truth Nation. Hope you had a great weekend and you're getting ready. It is Thanksgiving week, y'all. I can already smell it.
DT, I had a taste for some greens yesterday, so I made some, and my kids looked at me like I had, a second head. They were like, Dad, so Thanksgiving is coming up. Why are you making greens today? I said, I'm grown. I had a taste for them. I couldn't wait.
Can you make greens? Can you make greens good?
Oh, yeah, I can make some greens. I can make some greens. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
And I'm going to debunk that myth that you need meat in your greens to taste good. You don't.
Now, y'all know he's a vegan, y'all. So we gotta respect what's going on in the Hughes house.
Greens. I can make some greens.
Well, you're doing way better than me. I can eat some greens.
With the best of them.
With the best, man, I can throw down on the eating part. But as far as the cooking part, not so much. Before break, we were talking about the inauguration. The upcoming presidential inauguration will take place on January 20th of 2025, which is basically tomorrow. This year has flown by. And Bernice King, the youngest daughter of Dr. King, said that she's glad. She's glad that the inauguration will fall on the same day as her father's national federal holiday, because Dr. King will still be speaking to us on that day. I feel her on that. I get where she's coming from in terms of, yes, it falls on the same day, but there will be a number of people who will still celebrate the King holiday, as well as tune in. I mean, come on now. I'm definitely going to watch the inauguration. I'm not going to not watch it.
Yeah, I mean, watching it and watching all of it are two different things.
You know what? It's funny you say that, Telly. Here's my favorite part of watching the inauguration, regardless of, the outcome. I love the sergeant of arms or sergeant at arms when they bring in, the different dignitaries and elected officials. Yeah. And you can see people's reaction. Like, I love when President Trump was inaugurated the first time. So back in 2017, after winning the 2016 election, they kept putting the camera on Madam Secretary Hillary Clinton. I mean, it was like a reality show. It's like, ooh, look at her face. Then they would put the camera on First Lady Michelle Obama. Ooh, look at her face.
Yeah.
I mean, it was comedy. It was a reality show.
I will say it is, again, it's going to be entertaining. We know that, because the one thing we can expect is something that is probably not supposed to happen. It'll happen, with Donald Trump. So it will, for nothing else, it's going to be entertaining. He going to do something.
I was going to say, I'm definitely watching the 47th presidential inauguration. Now, speaking of, on our Truth Talk and text line, which is 833-212-1017. Blake, good morning. You're live with DT and Telly. What is your question or comment?
Good morning, family.
Good morning.
Happy holidays. And my comment is, he's an entertainer. And just so happens, just like with Ronald Reagan and Arnold Schwarzenegger, they got a chance to get in. And now it's just a second chance to get in, because Uncle Buck and them up north and everybody else did a lot of voting for this dude. So now, by him doing this on that day, I've met his daughter. I've been in Georgia. I was at Miss King's funeral, and I was down there when she passed. I was in that lady's presence, Miss Bernice, no joke. So she stayed calm for a reason. That's what I do know. I lived in Georgia for 5 years, but I've been in her presence 3 times. I've been at the burial site before they put her down there with her dad. I mean, her wife down there with her husband, and then afterwards. And when at that funeral, and then that stuff happened with Eddie Long, and she stepped down, she ain't nothing to play with. So she always has a plan. But when she's saying about her dad is, he speaks to us every day. We just have to pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dr. King lives through all of us every day throughout the transition of what we have to go through every day once we leave our house. It's up to us to be our own. And now this man, he might open the floodgates for some money, but what like that song, what people do for money, what you gonna do for your pride and your privilege of your people? So now it's the time for us to step up. Just watch the show, and everybody don't get fooled by the woo-wop. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you, Blake.
Yeah.
Blake dropping them bars this morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, and Blake brings up a lot of good points, because the people that voted for Trump, their main concern was what? The economy. So everybody that, thinks that, all right, now we're about to be rich again and everything's going to be okay, doesn't quite happen that easily, unfortunately.
Rich again? When were you rich before?
Yeah, I'm talking about these. You're right. You're right. Because the people that think all of a sudden Trump is going to get them some money never had money to begin with. So,
man, when Trump was president, I got a stimulus check for $82.13, man. Biden didn't give me nothing. Okay.
And if you want to be real, Trump didn't even give you that. Congress did. He just wrote his name on it.
That's right, because when Trump was president, there was a plethora of black businesses that started and generated millions of dollars of revenue, and they are still in business because of President Trump. I digress.
Hey.
Ricky, can we go ahead and get ready for this new episode of MPS in the Restless? It's been a while, Telly, since we've given y'all some NPS and the Restless, but let's go ahead now. Last Thursday night, the Milwaukee Public School Board found out that there are currently 26 applicants who have put their hat in the ring for the MPS superintendent role. Now, this is good news for the board for obvious reasons. But if you are new to MPS and the Restless, back in June, Dr. Keith Posley, who was the superintendent at the time of MPS, resigned, and I'm doing the air quotes, Telly, resigned amid a financial crisis in the district, along with some other crises. Now, Eduardo Galvin has been serving as the interim MPS superintendent since the end of July. And there have been meetings with both Mayor Cavalier Johnson, County Executive David Crawley, even the Governor Tony Evers, who was the previous state superintendent of the schools, public schools in Wisconsin, who have all had conversations in terms of their input on who would be the best person to fill the position. Some of the questions that have been asked are, what's great about MPS? What are the challenges? And what do you look for in a new superintendent? To, again, people such as Mayor Johnson, County Exec Crawley, and Governor Evers, as well as other community leaders for their input. Now, in this survey, in this search survey for the next superintendent, the executive search firm has received about 850 responses. It's low based on the size of Milwaukee, but nonetheless good responses. So more to come, but there are currently 26 applicants who will be interviewed and reviewed as we are looking to name, and this is coming from the district, to name a new superintendent for MPS in late February.
I got a couple of thoughts on several things you said, DT. Number one, I believe that if you have all these applicants and you have an interim, and how can these other applicants show that they can do the job and you're just focusing on, well, I'm not going to say you're just focusing on, but you have someone who is doing the job, and if you think they're doing a decent one, then all these other applicants not even going to get an opportunity to see if they can get a shot. Now, I know you can't name 25 different interims to see what they're going to do, but I also think that how do you ever get outside of the box if the only people that you're focusing on are the people inside of the box? That's number one. Number two, when you said that they are meeting with Mayor Cavalier Johnson, I think you got to be careful with that, because as the mayor, you got to decide if you want to be involved in this or not. You can't just put your toe in whenever you think that, you can input in a positive way, and then when something negative comes around, because I give you an example. When these police officers that should have been in these schools in January, and it's now November and they're still not in there, you can't say, oh, that's an MPS deal and they're working it out. I mean, as the mayor, you're going to have to step in and say, okay, this needs to be done, and it needs to be done now, and I'm mandating this. And so, but maybe that is the transition that he is going to do with this next superintendent, meaning work with them a lot closer to get MPS back on track. And we all know what a healthy and thriving school district can do for a city and a community.
Absolutely. Now, here's where it gets interesting, Truth Nation. Lean in. Ready for this?
Uh-oh.
The same firm that MPS used to hire Dr. Posley is the same firm they're using to hire. I'm not making this up, y'all. What is the definition of insanity? What is the definition? Not really a silly girl. She already, well, they probably think they talking about something else. No, they talking about this.
No, they talking about you.
Well, what's the definition of insanity?
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
So let me get this straight, MPS. This is why we say MPS and the Wrestlers. Ricky, go ahead and give us that music in the background, because when I'm about to drop this on y'all, the firm that is searching, or that has been hired, paid to help the search for the next superintendent is the same exact firm that MPS hired when they hired Keith Posley. The firm is known as Hazard Young Atea Associates. I repeat, Truth Nation, this is the exact same firm that MPS used when they hired Dr. Keith Posley. How'd that work out for us? I do not understand why you would expect change, which in this case, we need significant change in leadership, decision-making, and just the fundamental care about our educators and our students. And you use the same firm You use the same firm, y'all. Hazard Young Atia Associates.
Maybe they asked for a redo. Like, look, we got that one wrong, man. Give us another chance.
This is the same. So this firm is the firm that met with Mayor Cavalier Johnson, Executive David Crawley, students, parents, Governor Evers, and this is where they've received 850 response. But here's my thing. Here's my problem. You asked everyone the same questions. Different categories should have had, like, for example, you asked everybody what's great about MPS. That's how you lead what's great about MPS? Nothing. Like, what are you talking about? We've got 13 schools that are closing. We've got students who are in environments that don't have air conditioning, and it's 100 degrees outside, and climate changing is going to continue to get more. Are you kidding me? What's great about MPS? Okay, Truth Nation, our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. What is great about MPS?
Yeah,
I want to focus in on the word great. Because we become a society that normalizes mediocrity. So what is great about MPS right now?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I also.
You want to know, Telly?
Go ahead.
You want to know the answer? I'm so glad you asked. Here is how MPS did on the state report card that it received from the Department of Public Instruction. So I'm going to wait, Truth Nation, for y'all to call in and tell us, me and Telly, what's great about MPS. But in the meantime, Milwaukee Public Schools, based on the 2023-24 state report card, received a 58.2 overall accountability score on a scale of 100. Now, Telly, I don't know about you, but where I come from, a 52% out of 100 is a what? F.
That's an F.
That's a super F. That's an F minus.
Yeah, that's an F. And so, okay. Now, how do you evaluate the interim, the superintendent's performance then?
You know what? I'm gonna be complete. My first immediate reaction is it's not fair for me to assess Mr. Galvin's performance.
No, not you. I'm just saying as a whole, like as a body, like. Okay, do you say, well, he's not getting the job done, then we need to get somebody else? Or is it, well, give him a chance?
No, because he came from the same crew. He came from the same crew.
That's all I'm saying.
You got to go. Look, bye, peace out. Like, why? This is not personal. I want to be clear.
Yeah.
You know, this is a demonstration of systemic racism at its best. Because if any other school district that was predominantly white had an overall accountability score of 58.2 out of 100,
yeah,
and you're accepting that, what does that tell you?
Yeah, but that also, now we're going to see who are we really putting first, the kids or the relationships these adults have within these organizations?
Thank you. This is not like, why are we even having this conversation? Like, why are you surveying different personas with the same questions? You got the same people. You hired the exact same firm that hired Dr. Keith Posley, and we expect change? 833-212-1017. So are we good with this, y'all? Like, February, we're good with whoever they select, the same firm that brought in Keith Posley. We're good with this. Tax-paying Milwaukeeans, 833-212-1017. It might just be me. But the last time I checked, 58% out of 100, that's enough. Good. We'll be back.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's College Month on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and we want to help your young scholars get those free scholarship dollars. All month long, we will be highlighting local universities who offer full tuition scholarships and local organizations who help students find thousands of dollars in scholarships each year. So be sure to tune into 1017 The Truth College Month so you can learn how your scholar can get those scholarship dollars. College Month on The Truth is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Concordia University, Wisconsin.
Oh, and his name is wonderful.
Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration comes to the Bradley Symphony Center for one night only on December 7th. Get your tickets now to experience lots of your favorite seasonal music the gospel way. Emmy Award-nominated composer and conductor Adrian Dunn leads the Adrian Dunn Singers and the Rise Orchestra in a festive mix of soulful arrangements that are sure to fill you with hope and peace. With drums, guitars, tambourines, and plenty of hallelujahs, this festive concert promises to take the entire audience to church and beyond. Adrian Dunn's Wonderful, a soulful celebration runs December 7th only. For tickets and more information, visit mso.org or call 414-291-7605.
The Greater Milwaukee Urban League is celebrating 105 years of legacy and impact. The 105th year milestone community engagement campaign is a mission-driven effort to support employment, education, advocacy, and entrepreneurship initiatives. Together, they can continue their impact and legacy. Join them in raising $1.5 million. Text 105 to 41444 to make a secure online donation today. Visit TMUL.org for more information.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
All right, y'all, we are back. Thank you so much for tuning in and getting your morning started off with us. I got to remind y'all, Truth Nation, that next Tuesday, December 3rd, is Giving Tuesday, and the Truth is teaming up with Milwaukee College Prep to make a difference for Milwaukee's future. For nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible in urban education. Milwaukee College Prep provides a top-tier K-8 education, free of charge, to 2,000 children in underserved communities. With less government funding than traditional public schools, MCP needs your support to provide critical resources for scholar success. Join us in giving the gift of education on Tuesday, December 3rd for Giving Tuesday. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com/Giving Tuesday to donate. I'm going to say that again. So visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com/Giving Tuesday to donate, because Lord knows. On our YouTube message board, one of our valued viewers and listeners says, I nominate DT as next MPS superintendent. I appreciate that. And here's the thing. I would take a superintendent role in a minute if you let me come in and pull a Deion Sanders. Everybody got to go. Thank you. I would straight be Mayor Johnson. Is it Brian or Brad Johnson, the mayor of Chicago?
Brandon.
I would straight pull a Brandon Johnson. Y'all see what he did? Mm-hmm. He made it so that he got rid of the whole board and started from scratch. What'd you say during the break, Telly? What did Coach Deion Sanders do?
You're going to go, and your first day, you're going to have a meeting and be like, look, y'all might want to look at the transfer portal and see if there's any other districts that you might go get a job in, because what y'all been doing ain't been working. So I'm going to bring my people in, and this is what we're going to do to make this work. And like I was telling you during the break, same thing Deion Sanders did when he got to Colorado. And people are like, oh, man, that ain't right. He's telling those kids to transfer this, that, and the other. Well, that team that he was talking to won exactly one game, and they played 12 of them the year before. So Deion wouldn't have even been there if they were any good. So he was brought there for change. And if you are going to hire a superintendent, don't you want things to change if you are with MPS right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all I'm getting at.
Look,
you don't just keep just recycling the same. Like, okay, so that's basically. I'm going to. We just gonna go get another coach who got fired a few years ago, and then just bring him back and see if he learned something, as opposed to just going in a whole different direction. And sometimes that just requires a little. I'm trying to think of the right word to say. Let's just say it takes a little faith to do that.
Absolutely. Okay, so this person on the YouTube message board, can you just type in what you want me to, because you're making valid points, but I can't pronounce your name because it says, so is your name Stay Woke?
Yeah, that's the Stay Woke.
Okay, because I'm like, what is that? Okay, so Stay Woke says urban school districts across the country are dealing with the same challenges. The challenges being faced are not just a simply personnel issue. Students deal with poverty, mental health challenges. Superintendent cannot solve all these issues. Okay, so Stay Woke, you are absolutely well, let me not say that, because you know what I'm learning as a communication coach? I don't like when I say, or when I hear people say, you are absolutely right, because it's like, I know I'm right. Like, I agree, Stay Woke. Who am I to say whether you're right or wrong? So I'm going to remove that from my vernacular going forward. But Stay Woke, I completely agree with you. The superintendent cannot solve all the issues. However, with that being said, it starts with leadership.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with leadership. And if I'm a true leader that wants to impact things that I can change or influence, like, I'm going to have to accept that there are a lot of things that I can't change. But if I have relationships with the mayor, the county executive, and I'm holding them accountable just as much as I'm holding my educators, my administrators, to say, look, we've got some significant systemic racist issues that are impacting our students' ability to learn, that's where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
No one is being held accountable, Stay Woke.
Yeah.
No one. So it's not that I'm depending on the superintendent to solve isms or to solve mental health challenges or to solve poverty, but I am counting on my superintendent to make sure that every day that they wake up and they are to serve these parents, the educators, and the students of Milwaukee Public Schools, that they have access to quality education. Their environment is conducive to learning. And I am holding educators as well as parents to support. I mean, there's just so much that can be changed and impacted from the superintendent's leadership.
Yes.
And the fact that you're using the same firm, you're asking the same people the same questions, and you have an interim superintendent who came from the same, yes, I'll say it, peanut gallery. Do not expect change in February.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't rocket science.
And on top of that, I totally agree with everything you said as well, DT. Like, one person is not going to change everything, but it's called a culture. When you have a great leader who can develop a good and productive and successful culture, you can also build a team around you. So they're not going to just be one person that's going to come in, but if you build a team that addresses some of these things that you feel like are plaguing this school district, then you can start to move forward. But to come in and just have the same plan that the last person had, it's not going to work. And leadership, it does start at the top. I don't care what organization you go to. If you don't have strong leadership at the top, 9 times out of 10, that business is not thriving or moving in an efficient way.
Absolutely. And Stay Woke goes on to say on our YouTube message board that a superintendent can't make kids study at home. Well, let me just say this to you, Stay Woke, as a leadership coach as well. And I coach a whole lot of executives, and due to NDAs, I can't get into all that, but I will say this. Leadership is never about making someone or your team do anything. Okay, if you got to make your team do something, if you got to tell them what to do, you're a manager. You're not a leader. You feel me? Stay woke. There's a difference. You got a lot of people who are getting paid to manage. Leadership is influence. It's about driving a culture. It's being held accountable, and it's about holding your team members accountable through the power of influence. I'm only hiring people to work for me that have just as much passion. If I got to punish you, if I got to reprimand you, if I got to make you do what you're supposed to be doing, you don't belong on my team. And as far as making kids study, they have there is no desire, influence. How do you expect for me to study at home when I'm at school, I don't even have air conditioning, it's 100 degrees outside? How do you expect me to study at home when I got to work part-time and take care of my siblings? So yes, it's not about holding the superintendent accountable for doing things like solving poverty or solving racism. It's about influencing the people that depend on you. Influencing through your leadership. There's managing and there's leading. So there's a difference, Stay Woke.
Yeah. And Stay Woke, as much as you've texted, you could have called in and got all this out by now.
You know how I feel about when they started implementing YouTube. I'm like, why we talk radio if we got YouTube message board, talking text?
Yeah, Stay Woke just took over. But no, we definitely appreciate it, though. We appreciate the comment because these are things that, need to be discussed and need to, we need to understand as a community, how can we help solve this problem together? Because we both agree. It's not just going to be, you're going to hire Joe Clark and come in here, and he just go clean up everything in
Where
one calendar year.
Yeah. Can we get Joe Clark to run MPS, please? Because again, Stay Woke. It's because he says, y'all know I'm telling the truth. Your truth is your truth. I just want you to consider understanding, Stay Woke, that there is a difference between leadership and management.
Yeah.
Managers, they come in and they tell their team what to do. Leaders say, this is the desired outcome. What do you think is the best way we can get to this? And listen and learn and hold people accountable and be committed. We got too many managers.
Yeah, and let's do this as a team.
And not enough leaders.
All right, and let's do this as a team. I'm not here to just make you do this or make you do that. And let's set our goal and let's achieve it together.
That's all I'm saying. When we come back, now we was not gonna not talk about this.
Man. I hate it. It's breaking news on Friday.
we brought it up, but we're going to get into this. Jonathan Majors' ex-girlfriend has dropped the defamation lawsuit. And the judge basically said, don't bring this up no more. Now, in the meantime, we're going to get into how that impacted Jonathan Majors, how we treated Jonathan Majors as a community during the whole investigation and trial. And should the ex-girlfriend, should she be now sued?
Yes.
Don't hold back, Telly. Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017.
I feel a certain kind of way about this. I really do.
We're going to get Telly's passionate reaction when we come back. We want to hear from you as well. This is the best morning show on planet Earth. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Everywhere in America, families are struggling with an all-too-common problem.
She missed school again.
Again?
Something is going on. She's secretive.
Should we check her backpack?
When you suspect a family member has a substance use disorder, it's hard to know what to do next.
We need to talk to her.
Starting the conversation is the first step to getting help. Visit SAMHSA at samhsa.gov/families for tips, or for treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/the-reason to get started.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Well, everything's winding down nicely. We do still have a little bit of a backup along 94 eastbound from about 68th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Westbound's clear, 43 and 41 both looking good as well. And checking the TMJ4 storm team forecast. Today cloudy with a chance of light showers, a high of 50. Tonight, clearing skies, cold and breezy with a low of 25. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Just me and you, ooh, baby.
Good morning, Truth Nation. Thank you again for tuning in and starting your Monday of Thanksgiving week with the best morning show on planet Earth, Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. All right, let's get into this. America, we need to have a very uncomfortable conversation right now. Okay, America, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Truth Nation. We need to have a very uncomfortable conversation. Are you ready to have an uncomfortable conversation, Truth Nation?
I am.
Our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017.
Because before you start, DT, it's one thing to have an uncomfortable conversation, but I think it's a little more uncomfortable to actually live this conversation we're about to have.
And the reason why is because this subject, this topic, it's not new to the truth. We've had a variety of our shows talk about this particular subject matter. And for a number of people, it can be uncomfortable because it deals with one of the most taboo, but yet most impactful isms in this country, which is racism. And every day, we are reminded as black people in this country that no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, if someone who is of European descent, Caucasian or white, that wants to destroy you based on a personal feeling, they can. And before we get into the uncomfortable conversation, dear America, let me remind you that Diddy, Cosby, Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, Robert Kelly were either on their way or already were billionaires and said or did something that made a person, white person, uncomfortable and did not like the fact that you are in the billionaire club and you're trying to do what? Jonathan Majors. We all know Jonathan Majors by now. He had a breakthrough role in the third installment of the movie Creed with Michael B. Jordan. All throughout the year in 2020. What did Cat Williams say, Telly? Our first show this year, we talked about what?
Exposure.
And my brother, here we are again. Jonathan Majors' ex-girlfriend, who we talked about many, many shows as Jonathan Majors was on trial and lost based on her charges of assault and defamation. Now, Jonathan Majors was at the peak of, he was like literally rising in Hollywood. He had a couple of mainstream movies. Again, he appeared in the third installment of Creed. And everybody was like, who is this Jonathan Majors? He was then also set to star in a Marvel movie, a Marvel Comics movie. Now, if you're not familiar with any movies that are dropped by Marvel Studios, you can just automatically assume that that movie is going to generate at least $100 million at the box office. So Majors was set to star in an additional Marvel Comics movie from Ant-Man and Quantumanium. And Marvel Comics, or Marvel Studios, dropped Jonathan Majors after the guilty verdict. Now, as of last week, the ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, dropped the charges, which included assault and defamation against Jonathan Majors, and agreed to dismiss the case with prejudice. What does that mean, Telly? I'm so glad you asked.
Yes, what does that mean?
When a judge and court dismiss a case with prejudice, that basically means that you cannot bring that charge ever again against Jonathan Majors in court.
Oh.
So she didn't basically, and I'm just going to say this in Evansville, Indiana terms, she got mad. She used her privilege and her power to destroy a black man's career after finding out that he started dating Megan Good.
Yeah. And the thing is that she got mad at him probably because he may have wanted to break up with her. And we talked about it during the break, DT. If this was reversed, we all saw the tape. We all saw Jonathan Majors running from this woman. And when that happened, DT, I was like, okay, is this tape for the prosecution or the defense? Like, I mean, you clearly see this man running away from her. But like you said in the break, if that was reversed and there was tape of a black man chasing a white woman who appeared to be trying to get away from him, man, come on. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and be like, I'm tired of doing this. Or it doesn't look like I'm going to get any money out of this, so I'm done. And all is good. Now, this man is like you said, his career, and we can't even put a number on what he could have potentially earned throughout these last year or two. I don't know how long it's been, but It seems like it's been about a year or two, but still, like, this guy can't get a role. He hasn't been able to get anything since that trial. And we don't know if that's ever going to change.
All because she decided to wake up one morning and say psych. Now, let me just reiterate what dismissing a case with prejudice means. It means, number one, that this case is permanently over and can never be refiled. And this is based, Telly and Truth Nation, on the judge's decision. Now, when a case is dismissed with prejudice, there are a number of reasons to consider, including, are you ready for this, Telly? And see, this is why these uncomfortable conversations need to take place. Because, you know, some of the listeners, oh, Denise, it's not always about race. It absolutely is. And let me explain why. A case that's dismissed with prejudice includes, number one, the case is frivolous or ridiculous. Number two, the parties reach a settlement outside of court. Number three, the judge believes the defendant's reputation or standing in the community could be harmed by false accusations. Number four, the judge believes the court lacks jurisdiction over the matter. And number five, the judge believes the plaintiff or prosecutor does not have the right to bring this matter to court. That's what just took place. Now, this woman has ruined this man's career, all because of the fact that she knows who she is. She knows the power and privilege that comes with that. And now she wants to say, psych, oops, my bad. It was personal. It was never about him actually. Now, let me be clear. I have heard, I don't know Jonathan Majors personally. I've never even met him. I've never been in the same room as Jonathan Majors. I have heard, Telly, that there's been situations, especially during the Creed 3 filming, where he has a temper. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what that means, but I do know that we all have a temper. Sometimes it can be controlled better than others. However, if a judge dismisses the case due to prejudice, and I read the reasons of why, how do you think that makes Jonathan Majors feel right now? How do you think, because people are like, well, is Marvel Studios going to pick him up now? No, they totally rewrote him out the script. Mm-hmm. They have moved on. They started filming in 2021.
Yeah, I just it definitely makes you sick. I'm sure this entire time he has been having to deal with so much, you know, knowing the truth, knowing that this woman is trying to ruin my career, and she wasn't trying. She did throw a major monkey wrench in his career. Again, he hasn't had another role since these charges were brought against him. And I just, it is so ridiculous. And that, like, now you're being judged off of everything that you've done in your past. Like, okay, he had a temper. Does that make him the worst person ever? Does that make him, someone who assault women? No, that was a person that may have just had a bad day and got upset that day. But if we're being judged off of every action that we've had to prove that, oh, well, he could have done this, he did get mad, and he did kick a trash can, the last time out of frustration, stop trying to paint this narrative that isn't true, and just admit that, this woman lied, and you all jumped to conclusions and believed her before even giving this man an opportunity to explain what could have possibly happened.
Yes, and on our YouTube message board, Epiphany Connor types, she should definitely be sued. White women tears have been messing black men up for years. They need to make an example out of her. Now, this is where the conversation gets uncomfortable, because before a break, we were prepping for this subject matter, Telly, I asked, do you think that Jonathan Majors and his legal team should sue Gabrielle for defamation of character? And now remember, this, the prejudice, the dismissing the case with prejudice, I'm not a lawyer, so if anybody knows, I know that the case can't be brought up again. It can't be refiled. But is that just from Gabrielle's lens as the prosecutor? Can Jonathan Majors now sue the ex-girlfriend?
He should be able to. I don't see why not, because it's always been her pressing charges or doing something against him. And I mean, because didn't he lose the case?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there was no monetary, exchange. So I think that maybe she was trying to sue him civilly so she could get some money then, right?
Oh, no, I don't think she was trying to get money. I think she was trying to ruin his life. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's how evil.
That's crazy.
When you use your power for evil like that, you can get away with it. You can falsify things and exaggerate. Her objective was to ruin his life. She was hoping he would get jail time. It was never about the money.
Just because, yeah.
It was about ruining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to be with me?
Yeah.
Remember? And then when he called her Coretta Scott, I need you to be more like Michelle Obama, Coretta Scott King.
Yeah.
Oh
man.
What?
Man.
You're telling
Jonathan
a British white woman?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. You're going to jail. I'm suing you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. When we come back, we want to hear from you. 833-212-1017. We got a lot of action coming in our YouTube message board. Our Truth Talk and text line is 833-212-1017. Y'all sure doing a lot of typing today. Call in. We want to hear your voice. I'm not the best reader. 833-212-1017. We'll be back.
Don't touch that dial. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Tuesday, December 3rd is Giving Tuesday, and The Truth is teaming up with Milwaukee College Prep to make a difference for Milwaukee's future. For nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible in urban education. MCP provides a top-tier K-8 education free of charge to 2,000 children in underserved communities. With less government funding than traditional public schools, MCP needs your support to provide critical resources for scholar success. Join us in giving the gift of education on Tuesday, December 3rd for Giving Tuesday.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know, what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year, 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Registration is now open for Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Microsoft Certification Course. Classes start Monday, November 11th, 2024 through Friday, January 10th, 2025. Join them Mondays and Wednesdays from 9:30 a to 11:30 a with practice times available on Fridays from 9:30 a to 11:30 a. Earn your Microsoft certificate in PowerPoint, Word, and Excel, all with an in-person instructor. Work at your own pace and add new skills to your resume. For more information, visit tmul.org. Hurry, space is limited.
Bango made his list and checked it twice. Turns out Bucks fans are really nice. Slay the holidays with a limited time ticket offer that will land you at the top of Bango's nice list. score gifts for the Bucks fans in your life. And treat yourself, too. Holiday packages feature ticket codes to redeem now or use later, exclusive Bucks holiday items, and an e-gift card that can be used to eat, drink, and be merry at Fiserv Forum. Explore options at bucks.com/deal season.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
All right, Truth Nation, another great show. Thanks to you. Thank you again so much for tuning in. So, Telly, we're going to have to pick up this Jonathan Majors uncomfortable conversation tomorrow.
I'm with it.
And speaking, are you with it, Telly?
I'm with that.
All right, we're going to carry this over into tomorrow. And then also, we're going to talk about Governor Evers has granted 172 pardons. We're going to get into that tomorrow as well as talk about Thanksgiving. Like, what we doing? What we cooking? What we eating? What we talking about? I'm going to give y'all some subject matters to stay away from, to consider staying away from. Also this week, as the effective communication coach will be posting on her Instagram. I'm talking like I'm in third person. So my truth of the matter is this: get ready to celebrate and be thankful. That's all. That is our only responsibility this week, especially as Black Americans in this country. Just be ready to celebrate and be thankful and grateful for what we have. That's my truth of the matter.
Man, gosh, that is simple, but so much was just said right there. And I have no choice but to just piggyback off of that, because as many of us, as we are in this 11th month and we're entering the 12th month, and some of us may feel like 2024 has been a long year, but if you really go back and look, and there's been more blessings than downfalls, but you just really got to go back and focus on that. A lot of times we focus on things that didn't happen or things that we wish could have happened, as opposed to focusing on the things that actually did happen. And so it's definitely a time to reflect. And it shouldn't just be one day. It should be this entire week, if not all the time. Just focus on the things and be thankful for the things that you do have, and stop tripping off the things you don't have. How about that?
I love it and completely agree. The abundance, just being able to wake up in the morning. Speaking of that,
man,
you've got 9 more hours of live Milwaukee Black Talk Radio kicking us off. Sherwood Hughes, stay locked in. Again, 9 whole hours. Thank you for allowing us to start your Monday off. It's Thanksgiving week, y'all. Let's go out and make it a great day. Tell somebody you love them. We love you. And Lord willing, we will see and hear y'all tomorrow.
Peace out.